Imagine this. It is midnight, deep inside the rainforests of Borneo. The night is heavy, the air thick with mist, and the only sound is the constant chorus of insects. Then suddenly, from above the house, you hear something strange. It is not the sound of birds, not the sound of bats, but the slow, heavy flapping of wings. You look up, and what you see freezes your blood. A woman's face, pale and twisted, with long black hair whipping through the air. Her eyes glow red in the darkness, burning like embers, and from her neck dangles a trail of organs, heart, lungs, and intestines, swaying and dripping as she floats in the night sky. This is Kuyang, the flying head witch of Borneo. Borneo, or Kalimantan as it is called in Indonesia, is one of the largest islands in the world. It is a land of dense jungles, hidden rivers, and deep traditions that go back for centuries. The indigenous Dayak people have always believed that the forest is alive. It holds spirits, shamans, and unseen powers. And among all their stories, none is more feared than the tale of Kuyang. The legend tells of a woman who once desired something forbidden. She wanted beauty that would never fade, youth that would never die, and powers beyond the reach of ordinary humans. To achieve this, she studied the darkest of sorceries, and through ritual, she paid a terrible price. At night, her head would separate from her body. Her lifeless body remained behind, like an empty shell. But her head, still connected to her dangling organs, would rise into the night sky, floating, hunting. She was cursed to forever search for blood. Fresh, warm blood from newborn babies or from women giving birth. It is said that only this could satisfy her hunger. Villagers knew the danger. They guarded their homes with charms and offerings. They placed garlic around their doors and windows. They scattered sharp palm leaves on the ground, for the Kuyang would be wounded if she brushed against them. They kept needles and pins hidden in corners of the house, weapons believed to drive her away. Mothers, especially those who were pregnant, rarely slept at night. They stayed awake, listening, fearing the sound of wings above their roof. Many stories have been told about encounters with Kuyang. One tale speaks of a mother rocking her newborn child in a small wooden house deep in the jungle. As she sat in silence, she felt a sudden chill, though the night was warm. The oil lamp flickered, and then she heard it, scratching on the roof, faint at first, then louder. She looked up, and through a small opening in the wall, she saw two glowing eyes staring back at her. A head floated there, organs swinging in the dark like ropes. She screamed and clutched her baby to her chest. The villagers rushed in with torches, shouting and throwing stones at the creature. But in an instant, it vanished, leaving behind only the smell of blood and decay. Another story tells of hunters returning late at night from the forest. They saw a strange light moving through the trees, red and faint, like fireflies. As they approached, they realized it was not a light, but the reflection of glowing eyes. A head drifted slowly above the branches, watching them. They chased it, but when they reached the clearing, they found nothing but a discarded piece of clothing on the ground. When they searched further, they found the lifeless body of a woman lying hidden among the bushes, headless and still. By morning, the body had vanished. In villages, there was always suspicion. If a woman looked too young for her age, whispers spread. If she never seemed to grow old, or if her beauty remained unchanged year after year, neighbors grew fearful. They whispered to each other, "Perhaps she is a Kuyang." Fear turned communities against one another. Every mysterious death of an infant was blamed on the flying head. Every cry in the night was a reminder of her presence. But the Kuyang is not just a monster in the eyes of folklore. She is also a symbol, a warning about the dangers of greed and desire. She represents the human hunger for power, the desperate search for eternal beauty, and the price that comes when someone dares to bargain with dark forces. She is a reminder that when humans reach too far into forbidden knowledge, they risk losing their very soul. Some scholars believe the tales of the Kuyang were created to protect vulnerable women and children, teaching families to stay alert during childbirth and to care for mothers in the community. But others see her as a representation of fear, a way to explain sudden deaths or illnesses that ancient people could not understand. But for many villagers, the Kuyang is not just a symbol, she is real. They say she still flies when the moon is full, searching for blood. And if you hear wings above your house in the silence of the night, you must never look, never open the door, because once she sees you, she will never stop hunting, not until she tastes your blood.